Our makeup and mystery, we are going to be talking about the Iyanna Sawyer case. This story takes place in Jacksonville, Florida in 2018. It is between a 38-year-old man and a 16-year-old girl named Iyanna Sawyer. So this story is very similar to the Isaiah Harris case that I previously talked about on my. This little girl was also groomed by her aunt's husband. Yes, to her starting to get SA'd by her aunt's husband. He was previously messing with her younger sister. The younger sister had also ended up getting pregnant by Jonathan Quiles, and she got to take a Plan B or a abortion pill. He gave the younger sister the abortion pill, and the younger sister eventually told him, like, basically, hey, I'm going to tell on you if this doesn't stop. I don't want to do this. So he decided to leave her alone. So then he starts to prey on Iyanna. Iyanna is a little bit more older, a little more developed in the sense of a young woman. So he starts to prey on her. He had broke his femur, I believe, and the kids were going over there to babysit him and their aunt's younger kid and help around while the aunt was at work. Ultimately was a mistake. He begins to assault Iyanna, and somewhat in the mix, they believe to develop feelings. Feelings for a 16-year-old? Yeah, that is crazy. So as Iyanna's sister starts seeing that the same thing Jonathan was doing to her is now happening to her older sister, she proceeds to tell Iyanna, like, he used to do the same to me. I think we should actually tell on him. Iyanna tells her sister, no, I don't want to tell on him. I love him. Don't tell. And it just really starts to actually get kind of jealous of her sister for being SA'd by this man before her. Iyanna and her uncle start having sexual relations at one point, and to keep everything on the hush hush, they start to call him Jose. Also, Iyanna is to the point where she thinks this is her man and starts going to school and telling on her teenage friends that she's messing with some older guy on the block. And everything is good, you know. Teenagers at that age, they think if they're messing with an older man, it is just glams and glitter. Sad to say, but that is just the reality of it all. A few months passes by, the assault keeps on, and Iyanna ends up pregnant. She's not telling her family who the dad is or who it could possibly be. Eventually her family sits her down and asks her who could the dad possibly be, and she tells them she has been sneaking around with an older guy on the block. They're like, okay, what's his name? Where does he live? She does not want to disclose this information. She becomes irate, and the conversation is dropped. Fast forward to she gets about 6 or 7 months pregnant. So fast forward, her family starts applying pressure, and they want to know, who is this boy? Where does he live? Why have we never seen him? Why have we never seen you interact with him? All of the normal questions a family would ask. She proceeds to tell her family, like, you know, I'm a teenager. I just don't want you guys in my business. You guys will know after the baby is born. So with Jonathan Quiles being 38 and already married, he's like, this is a problem for me. He wants her to take an abortion pill. She's like, I'm not doing that again. I am having this baby. I thought we loved each other. His wife at home is already pregnant at the time. So he's just like, what am I going to do? She is 16 and also my niece. I can't have this baby. So he calls his brother on the phone and tells his brother that he is going to his niece and that he has been assaulting her. The brother thinks it's a joke. I don't know why. So he proceeds to ask his brother when and where he is going to her. He says at the landfill that he has. So he proceeds to text Iyanna one day and was like, hey, leave during your lunch break at school. Let's meet up. We're gonna go elope and get married and leave and have our baby and start a family. She's young and naive, so she's like, yes, this is finally happening. Like, yay, I'm finally going to get my family. Like, this is gonna be glitters and gold. Not knowing she's going to meet him to ultimately meet her end. So she meets up with Jonathan. They go to his job, which is a landfill in Jacksonville, Florida. They do their thing. He ultimately starts to strangle her. He says that he could not stomach to strangle her because she is fighting back, ultimately begging for her life, confused on what is going on. Iyanna proceeds to get out of the car, ultimately to get away, and he shoots her in the head. After he shoots her in the head, he proceeds to set her body up in a car and leaves her there for a minute. After he proceeds to leave her there, he goes ahead and junks the car, which basically means putting it up in the air and smashing it. So he proceeds to do that with the car, ultimately destroying her body and her evidence. Mind you, she is 5 or 6 months pregnant with his child at this time. Like, how cruel could you be? After school goes by and her family notices that she is missing and has not returned from school. Mind you, for some weird reason, her mom had a feeling that something was going on between her and her uncle and had asked her and her sister, and her sister proceeded to tell her mom there was nothing going on between them. But as a mother, if you know this, why wouldn't you keep your child, or if you have a feeling, why wouldn't you keep your child away from this man? Like, I'm not understanding, but okay, who am I to judge? So she goes missing. She tells the police her daughter was pregnant, and she says that an older boy on the block is the dad. They question the older boy. He's like, he hasn't talked to her, he hasn't hooked up with her, anything of the above. They're nothing more than friends. So not everybody is confused. So at this point, the police goes to her friends at school. And they ask her friends at school, have they heard about who Iyanna is dating or who she is intimate with? They say an older guy named Jose, aka it's Jonathan, but they don't know that. So at this point, the police is going hard trying to find out who this Jose character is. Eventually, they find out that it is her uncle Jonathan Quiles. They pull him in for questioning, and he repeats the same bogus story. Oh, I heard that she was messing with some older guy on the block that we live on. They already know this is BS because they've already pulled the older guy in. So they proceed to tell him, well, we already pulled, Kareem was his name, in, and he said they've never had sexual relations. So if we run DNA on the baby with the DNA match yours. He's like, no, that's my niece, da 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 da. And they're like, well, the last known location of her phone was your landfill. So now he's starting to get shook up. He knows he's close to being caught or is caught. He says that she came out there, but she left, and he did not see her again after that, which they know is complete bullcrap because she hasn't came home. So after hours of interrogation, they have enough evidence and tells Jonathan, stand up, you are under arrest for the murder and disappearance of Iyanna Sawyer. He still remains, well, tries to claim he's innocent, which they know he is far from. Fast forward, her family requests that he be met with the death penalty, even though they still have not recovered her body from the landfill, but they do know that it's out there somewhere. He had got sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences, one for Iyanna and one for the baby. So she ultimately got her justice. Just they haven't found her body. I pray that they do, so the family can get the closure of saying their final goodbyes to this baby. Because it's so sad. And it's so sad that you gotta watch who you marry or watch who you have around your kids ultimately. Again, this is another unfortunate event for a young black woman. So if we could just pray and hope that these families start talking to their kids, letting their kids express themselves, letting their kids be able to tell them anything, even if it sucks to listen. Listen to your kids, because a lot of kids don't talk to their family because they don't feel comfortable. Make sure your kids feel comfortable so things like this can be prevented. So you can teach your daughters what is love, what is right, what is wrong. Your body should not be controlled by a man, older, younger, it doesn't matter. You have the ultimate say so. Also, just let your daughters know that they are loved, and no man should ever be able to take advantage of them. Let them know their worth. Anyways, time to wrap this up. Justice for Iyanna Sawyer. And here's the final look, guys. What do you guys think? Like and subscribe for more makeup and mystery. Bye.